Alright guys, Red Eyes here, and I'd like to welcome you back to Hermitcraft. I'm just here looking at these sheep because they keep on escaping, and I want to see if they're hopping on that block and then jumping over the fence. I'm not sure, but as you can see, they're sort of all over the place now. Anyways, in this episode, we are going to be checking out my new redstone-less, pretty much lag-free witch farm, and also looking at my new storage room, and that is about it. Yeah, sorry that the video took so long. I've had a bunch of computer problems. Turned out to be my sound card, which I have replaced, and no more clicking and popping noises throughout the whole video, so that is sweet. Anyways, as usual, shortcuts in the description. Enjoy! Alright, so here we are at the base, and yeah, as you can see, not too much has changed down here. Well, in front of us here. There's some acacia trees up there, and I started putting a wall up on the third layer. There's some stone brick and stone half slabs. Nothing too major. It's obviously not completely done. I haven't done anything over there. And over on this side, I've sort of extended the walkway around a little bit further, or started to at least. Got some stairs going up here. Nothing too major. Haven't really built anything apart from the walkway over there. But the first thing I want to show you is under my feet, and that is my new witch farm. And it is pretty awesome because it doesn't use any redstone at all. It does use a ton of hoppers, and yeah, here it is. And the main thing in it is the iron golems. So yeah, basically it's really simple to do. Just a big layer of hoppers all feeding into each other, and an iron golem there to kill any witches that spawn. So pretty simple. We'll hop into creative mode in a moment, and I'll show you more detail about how to make this thing and the spawning box for the witches and that kind of thing. But yeah, here it is set up. On the top layer I just have hoppers, and on the bottom layer I have it a little bit different. I have some solid blocks. Originally I had a pattern in the floor, but then I realized that these blocks here are actually in a river biome, so it's not a perfect witch hut. And in this corner here as well, you can see it's a river biome. So these are actually upside down stairs so that no mobs spawn on them. And the advantage of having that is actually if the iron golem is standing there, he's not preventing any witches from spawning. Because if he's standing here, he'll actually reduce the spawning rates, because no witches will be able to spawn where he's standing. And because the iron golems are quite big, I think they probably reduce sort of like 6 blocks at a time, maybe 4. I'm not entirely sure. So what I probably should do with this is, I'll show you the bottom first. So I have the solid blocks on the bottom there. And then under here I have a minecart going back and forwards to pick up any drops, a hopper cart. And he just goes back and forwards. And over here there's a few hoppers to collect any items and funnel them into the chest here. So you can see I've already got a decent amount of stuff. Redstone, glowstone, bottles, and all that jazz. But I'm not entirely convinced that having this minecart going back and forwards is any better than just having a layer of hoppers. Someone suggested I put that in to reduce the lag for the server, but I don't know. I don't really know how that works. But anyways, there it is. What I probably should do is extend the glass walls out maybe 2 or 3 blocks. That would of course mean I have to extend all the hoppers out as well, and then I would cover them in half slabs, maybe raise the roof a little bit, and that would allow the golems to walk around the edges of the witch hut more, and thus increase the spawning rates. So of course they're not always going to want to stay around the edge, but sometimes they would, and that would allow more witches to spawn. So instead of just waiting around here for a witch to spawn, what we'll do is we'll go into creative mode. I'll show you, the witch hut spawning box, how that works. And yeah, we'll see it in action. Okay. Alright, so here we have a witch hut, and the first thing to do is figure out where they can spawn. And that is, they can spawn, let's see, we got some different blocks here. They can spawn basically under the roof here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that includes the front porch. And then on across this side, it's as wide as the roof. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And they can spawn, if you remove the roof, they can spawn on this layer here. So I watched DocM's video to figure out all this, but this wasn't too clear in it, where they could spawn on the top. So basically you remove the roof and put down a layer, and they can spawn at this level here. So where I'm standing, a witch could spawn. And then you can remove 1, 2, 3, and they can also spawn down at that level. So yeah, that's I think that's right. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Yeah, so that's it. 1 below the roof they can spawn, and then you go down an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, and they can spawn down there in a 7 by 9 by 5, I guess it is. Yeah, so that's the first thing to know. Alright, so here we are in a test world where I've disabled all the spawning spaces around. There's just what used to be a witch hut here, where I have the layer of hoppers. And on the bottom here I actually have soul sand and hoppers above it. For some reason I was thinking that mobs couldn't spawn on hoppers, but apparently they can, so that's sort of unnecessary to have this soul sand. But yeah, we'll just move back here a little bit and see it in action. Hopefully witches should start to spawn any second now. Hopefully we'll get a group of them so you can see how they deal with that. Yeah, there you can see. The golems just destroy them very quickly. So they don't have time to throw potion back. Even the one on the bottom who's walking around slowly on the soul sand never seems to take any damage from a witch throwing a potion at him. So yeah, it works pretty good, really. And I forgot we were in creative mode, so I don't actually have to wait for them to spawn. I can just put some down here. Witch. And yeah, you can see, I'll put one here on the opposite side of the golem. He just runs over, just destroys her. It's great. Go on, do your thing. Bam. Awesome. And you see the witches just stand there and get pummeled. Oh yeah, and you can see here that the hoppers probably aren't extended out further. They should probably be out here, or maybe another 2 blocks even, because you can see there's a drop there which sort of went under the wall here. And also the gap here, you may be wondering why there's a gap here, and that is to increase the spawning rates. I think you're supposed to have more air blocks around the foot height of where mobs are spawning, but I'm not entirely sure about that. Like, I don't know if the gap should be at this height or if it should be at this height and I should fill in there. I'm not too sure about that. So if you know, let me know. So there you go, that is the witch farm. Yeah, not 100% efficient because the golems block some spawning spaces, but I'll probably try and extend the walls a bit and, you know, give them more room to walk around. And apart from that, I'm really happy with this. It's very cool. Yep, but I want to get it all, you know, working as best possible before I finish the exterior. And, yeah, there we go. Iron Golem powered witch farm. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you is my amazing storage room. Check it out, it is so beautiful. But actually now, if we look in the chests, empty, 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 empty. Oh yeah, most of them are empty. I've got a few here with random stuff in it still. I've been doing some brewing over here. not what I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about the storage. And for the storage... Oh, payment from Mumbo as well. We'll get to that in a minute. The storage room, I decided to put it in the grand hall here. And yeah, check it out. So, I got a grand hall here. And the first thing you're going to notice is the big face back there. And check it out. If I walk to the middle here, oh yeah, the face looks at me. And if I move over to the side, come on face. Yeah, it looks over to the side. If I move over here, it looks over here. Awesome. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But just before we check out how that works, I'll just show you the storage room. You can see I hollowed out this big sort of semicircle here. And put some pillars here, some grass back here. Got some acacia wood. What I want to do is put like plant life here. Maybe a little garden, you know, waterfall, water feature, that kind of thing. Also, I want to do the roof, make that domed, and figure out how to do the floor in here nicely. Make it look all good. For the storage itself, it's pretty basic. I just have a bunch of chests. Some of them have labels on them. That one for food, this one for mob drops. And yeah, you know, it's not the best because there's not that much storage here. But I'm thinking for, you know, all my dirt, all my cobble, I might move that into a different room. And the same, you know, with sand. If I have like tons of it, I'll probably have a deep storage area. And this is just more for, you know, for show, I guess, for everyday use. Because I don't normally hoard stuff that much, except for cobble. So I shouldn't need a huge amount of storage. But I think once I get a mob trap, you know, this isn't going to be enough for all the mob drops. But it's always good to have a supply next to everything else. So it's more of a crafting area, I guess. And started messing about with some minecart delivery systems which will pop through the floor, but I haven't progressed too much on that. But yeah, onto the face. So the face, well, what happened was I was doing the semicircle here, and I ended up with a big flat wall at the back, and I thought, man, you know, that's a perfect size to put a face. And I tried to copy my skin in creative, but, you know, it just didn't look right, having, you know, wood blocks and different types of clay and stuff. It just didn't look right. So I ended up with this sort of temporary, that is black stained clay face with these redstone eyes. And as soon as I did that, I thought, man, those eyes could actually do something. And yeah, as you can see, they are doing something. So we'll check out how it works. You might have heard a minute ago, but down here I have a spider, and this guy is controlling the face. He tracks you around the room, and yeah, his name is Brains the Second. Give him a name tag. Brains the First met a sticky end, unfortunately. I was wearing some armor with thorns on it. And he kept on jumping into me, and suddenly he just died. And I was like, oh no, I totally forgot about the thorns. I'm not wearing them now. But, yeah, Brains the First. Poor guy. And, yeah, this may look excessive for this, but originally I had him running around on some pressure plates, and the clicking was just unbearable. It was like click, 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 click. Really loud. So I changed that up to some tripwires. And, well, the thing is that the room above is too wide, like the center is too wide. So I needed this too wide section of tripwire to sort of meet up with the room above. And I didn't want to leave a 2-block gap, because then the spider would escape. So I found out that you could send the tripwire over a fence post, and that will allow the tripwire to like continue all through the spider box there. Or the brain box, even. And the spider can't escape. Like, he can't get out because, you know, because the fence post, that's only half a block gap under this block of glass. So he's stuck in there pretty good. And that means I can have the tripwire hooks far away enough from the area where you're walking around that you don't actually hear anything clicking. So that is why I wanted the tripwire hooks. And when the spider comes back here, he actually goes on top of this big group of fence posts, and that actually lifts him above the tripwire. So when he's back here, he's not actually triggering any of the tripwires. He's sort of floating above them. So that's pretty cool. The only issue with having it this way is sometimes the spider sort of gets stuck around here. He sort of climbs up and gets stuck on this block, so I might need to change this to try and prevent that from happening. That's sort of annoying. I don't know, I had it set up slightly differently before and it worked a little bit better. But yeah, that's basically how it works. You know, these rows of tripwires along the stone slabs there, and smooth stone slabs, sorry, and spider moving around. There you can see sort of stuck now. Come on. Yeah, it's not perfect, unfortunately. But anyways, he triggers those, and they send the redstone signal up. There's one signal going up here. The two middle tripwires join here and go up there, and the one on this side goes up there. It's just a half block tower, so the redstone can travel near vertically up, like so. Just goes straight up, and that comes to this room here behind the face. And so I'll go into the face in a little bit more detail again in creative mode, but I just want to show you what happens, how the signal comes in. So it will either come in on one side here, and it just goes over here, triggering this piston here, or in this case allowing it to retract because of the torch there. And the same thing will happen on the other side. It'll come in here and then, you know, turn off that torch. But if the spider is in the middle, the redstone will come up here, and that will trigger both sides at once. So, yeah. I think I'll just jump into creative mode again, because it's a bit of a mess in here to see what's actually happening. Okay. Alright, so there you can see I've got the face, stand in the middle, opens both eyes, move over to this side, looks to the right, move over to this side, looks to the left, and the mechanism I have behind each half of the eye, so each eye is two parts, is I have one of these things here. So a piston pushing a redstone block, and then under that there's a solid block, and under that there's a piston pushing up. And to switch between the two, there is a sticky piston with a redstone block on it. So when I retract that, you can see it changes states there. So if we go and look at it from the front, you can see the eye is closed, and then change states, and the eye is open. So it's pretty nice because the way it works is, you know, the piston, or this redstone block, it gets pushed down. So the first thing that happens is this redstone turns off, which allows this piston to retract, and then it powers this one and allows this one to extend, and vice versa. So it sort of works quite well. The pistons don't sort of try and push against each other, because there's that little period of time where this block is in the air and both redstone signals are not powered. So that's basically, I've got two of these behind each eye, like so. See, it sort of gets a little bit hard to see here, but two behind each eye, and then they are grouped in pairs. So this top one piston on the right and this piston here, you can see they are connected with this orange wool. The pistons on the left up top, you can see they're connected with this purple wool here, or the redstone on the purple wool. So they're sort of in groups. There's looking right, looking left, and, well, that's it. And on the bottom it's the same. I have the redstone on the red wool going to the pistons on the right, that one there, and that one there, and the redstone on the blue wool going to the pistons on the left. So yeah, that's it. So power that there. and it will look to the right. Unpower that. And let's see if I can show you. So just keep your eye on this piston here and that one there. So when I hit that lever, you can see they both retract at the same time. And that will make him look to the left. And then if, you know, it receives power from both at once, both halves of the eyes get triggered at once, and he will look dead ahead. So yeah, it's not too difficult in the end. Yep. There you go. Okay, so I hope that all made sense. I did try and record myself building this, but God, I changed it so many times, it was a nightmare. And I realized I didn't show you as well the off state. So all I do is back up here, and there you can see the eyes turn off. So the idea is that when you walk into this room, it wakes up. Like so. And I know they're coming. The Etho did it comments. Yeah. I was pretty annoyed because I built this like 3 weeks ago, and for whatever reasons I didn't record. And then I saw his episode where he put in, you know, the cow detector or whatever it is, player detector under his face, his Watson face? Is it Watson? I think so. Winston? Watson? I can't remember. Yeah, so I'm ready for those comments. But, you know, this thing is different. You know, his face is much more complex than this. I just wanted something to add a little bit of life to the room, and I think this has achieved that. Now, there might also be better ways of doing it as well. Some of you may be familiar with the zombie tracking. So, you know, what happens is you have a zombie standing on this little contraption, and when he can see you, he tries to get you, like he tries to track you, and it just makes a redstone signal go off. But I found the problem with that was that they continue to try and get you for like 5-10 seconds after they first see you. And I wanted this to have a more instant reaction, so the spider seemed like the better option. However, you can hear it, which is a bit of an issue, not a huge issue. You know, perhaps if I have some water features around here, it will sort of drown out the sound of the spider. And yeah, another thing that I want is I want a reason for someone to move over to the right here. So someone will come in the base, the eyes should be off, and then they will come in here and go, ooh, what's this over on the right? Maybe some sort of potion dispenser or something. They can come and get some free food, and then they'll say, oh, the face has followed me, and then move over here to get some other thing or look at something. Some little features in here. And the original idea for this double platform was that it would keep mobs out from the chest area, so you have to come up here and go around. But I've already found that it's slightly annoying to do that, and that it would be nice to have some stairs right in the middle here, and just get up there somehow. So what I'm thinking is to have a sort of staircase which pops out of the ground here, like that, and then you can just run up it. But I don't know how to build those staircases, so I think I might get Mumbo Jumbo to build me one. Might commission him to do that. And speaking of Mumbo Jumbo, yeah. Oh, look, there's the golems. Did you see him killing a witch? Yeah, you do your things. And I really need like a white panel behind it or something so I can see the action. It's sort of hard to see what's happening in there at the moment. Oh yeah, do it. Boom. So awesome. I love it. And no lag at all. That's the best thing. It's just lag-free witch farm. I know it's not as efficient as the other ones, but come on, lag-free. Can't argue with that. It's so good. But anyway, speaking of Mumbo Jumbo, we have payment from him here. And this was because I helped him with the iron farm, the iron trench farm, which, by the way, has made my iron farm up there completely redundant. You know, it just produces so much iron, the iron trench farm. And I was thinking, oh, maybe it's good to have this one so I have golems here. But of course I completely forgot that you can just make golems. You just build them yourself. So, yeah. I don't know. I'll keep it up there anyways. It's nice to have a supply of iron. But anyways, I helped him get a bunch of villagers there. I bred some in a breeder up there, and, you know, he was having trouble with that. And he paid me 40 diamonds. Which is ridiculous. I mean, I would have done it for free. So I'm not too sure what to do with these diamonds. I don't know, I might make maybe communal tools, or use them for communal stuff that everyone can use. Because I don't really feel right taking them for myself, because the iron farm is producing iron for everyone. So it doesn't seem right. And yeah, I don't know. I might use them. Who knows? Oh, more witches! Yes! Do your thing! Go on, son. Do it! So good. Love those golems. Well, I had some plans to go and do a bunch of other stuff, but I think the episode is probably long enough now. I'm going to try and make shorter episodes from now on, so that will have to wait until the next one. In case you're wondering where my levels went, I enchanted a fishing rod, and it was terrible. So, I got like lure 2 or something on a level 30. So not too impressed with that. But yeah, if you can think of any good names for these golems here, like Witch Killer 1 and Face Puncher or something. I don't know. Because I think they're going to be there for quite a while. Anyways, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Alright.